Yo, ladies and gentlemen, something new we doing here. What's the name of this thing here, J-Dub?
Hot takes, man. Hot takes.
Triple B hot takes, man. Hot takes. We're gonna give you like shorter news things. We're still gonna do the shows, but they ain't there. You know what I mean? We're gonna have like topics. You know what I mean? Between 5 to 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Either 1 or 2 topics. You know what I mean? About every day. Try to. You know what I mean? Every day. You know what I mean? Something new. You know what I mean? Let me know what you think about it. So what we got here first. So we're gonna talk about here.
Yeah, right now we got the this article, man, showing that the almighty Game of the Generation developers are actually going into the Steam reviews and replying to bad reviews. They're replying to users, saying your experience isn't bad and the game is great, and basically doing a bunch of damage control. So that's the first topic we're gonna talk about today.
Oh, so they got caught on some soccer account. Let me bring this up on the screen. What the hell they got going on here, man? Hey, yo, let's see when it rains, it pours. It says, we said, Bethesda has been caught replying to negative reviews on Starfield on Steam, trying to convince players that they are wrong about the game. You guys are just playing it wrong. It's crazy. It's how you say, I don't like to say, like, far as, I don't think, here's the thing, I don't think the game is that bad. I mean, it's not really for me. I'm just saying, but what I'm saying is that it's been the best game they've had in a long time, right? Outside of how you say the Gears of War, the Halo. You know what I mean? Now, did it live up to the hype? No. You know what I mean? I think that play style, anecdote, like it's kind of old. You know what I mean? It has to evolve. I'll give you an example. Like when BioWare hopped in the scene and they changed the way RPGs were played with the Jade Empires, the Knights of the Knights of the Republic, you know what I mean? The Mass Effects, the Dragons, what's it called? Dragon Age. What was the name of it? Was Dragon Age?
Dragon Age, yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of changed the way RPGs were played, but then what happened with what was the last Mass Effect Andromeda? People were pissed off at 3, but I guess it got a little dated. Well, even like I said, I liked it. What's the last game? It was Anthem. The storyline was they have a lot of content, but you know what I mean. I like they had the gameplay downplay, but I think even with how you say it has to evolve and to change. You know what I mean. I guess how you say get better or go up to date.
Yeah. You got more power. You got better tools and stuff like that. So gamers want to see games progress. And here we are, with Starfield, the game of the generation for this particular generation, allegedly. And this game it still has loading screens. It's not taking advantage of any of the hardware. Mind you, like you said, it's not a bad game. It's just not the game of the generation. It's just not what the hype was around. Dudes told me that people are going to be playing this game just like Skyrim for decades, and now it seems like that was a lie, and people are barely playing it.
What was a lie? Was a lie? What I think the issue is that not to say the problem, but games like take a game like Skyrim or Oblivion, right? Those appeal to gamers that have been used to those games back then, Oblivion and Skyrim.
Yes.
Now you have, which is gamers much bigger now. It has to fun to appeal to a younger demographic, newer gamers. You know what I mean? And I don't think that it did that. You know what I mean? So they out there replying to negative reviews and saying, "Hey, no, you're just playing it wrong. You got to play it with your third eye. You got to play with with a baby bib on the sun.
You got to put another. You got to beat it and play New Games Plus mode for it to be good.
You know what I mean? You got to play this with blindfolded with one hand behind your back, saying a pledge allegiance to the flag. Buddy.
Yeah, and I played the game. I put about 22 hours into it. I had a early review code before the game came out. I put in the work. It just did not captivate me. I put in the work. I put in the time. Dudes told me I had to play the 60 more hours and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not gonna boot. It's just not. It's not for me. I done played plenty of Fallout 4, Fallout 76. I was riding that Fallout 76 train with Moss. You know what I'm saying? I had to jump off the train, but I started with him. And it's like you said, it's that style is dated. They're using the same engine that they used 15 years ago. Like have you not evolved at all? And I think this just kind of caught them. The loading screen, it goes back. The loading screens, no 3D audio, no ray tracing, no 60 frames a second performance mode.
Visually though,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
visually,
it's not. It's, I say, and I say games, always about graphics, but this is your next generation. It's on PC also, but your next generation only, right? I think, and I know. I think it would have been a better received. It had been a little bit more visually appealing. Maybe they use something like Unreal Engine 5 or what a mother needs. You know what I mean? Just like somewhere. They have somebody engine. You know what I mean? The little engine they could.
Yeah.
They again. I think they just need to.
Yeah, we didn't really. I mean, be honest, Z, we didn't really have to collect 1,000 goddamn sandwiches, right? Nobody cares about doing that.
Yeah.
You wasted all that development time making it where a person can collect a bunch of sandwiches and a bunch of guns and leave them piled up. Like it doesn't matter to the average gamer. It doesn't matter. Just make a good game and make it appealing and overall just make it fun. And I don't think the collectives agreed to that, even though it got a good Metacritic score at 83. I gave it an 8 out of 10. So, give it an 80 to 83. That's what it deserved. But was it a game of generation? Absolutely not.
But we switch topics. But the last thing, how the hell did they get caught with these soccer counts here? Hey, who the hell caught them with these soccer counts here?
Man.
Hire me to do the capping. The capping here. They get caught out there. I mean, you get caught here replying to this stuff. Hey, well, no, you're just playing it. That's right, guys, you're playing it wrong. God damn it, man. They can't win. Nothing. Oh, Jesus, man. I don't know, man. How do you get caught doing something like that? That's embarrassing. Hey, well, listen. Hey, listen. If you have to do that, right? Real talk. Hey, all just some topics. We're going to go to 2 topics today. If you have to do that and respond to them, wrong. Some people won't like the game. The game ain't for everybody. But if you have to go out and do stuff like that, then maybe you got to say, look, it's a you problem. Maybe you have to, approach gaming, which the last time we make a comparison. I remember when you remember how Japan was leading the industry in gaming, right? What I mean by that, like everything. I'll give you an example. When games came out first, they released in Japan first, and then they become stateside. It's not like that anymore, right? So you had games like Dynasty Warrior, all that stuff. It's kind of old school now, you know what I mean? And they just never caught up with the time. So you know what I mean? I just think they're gonna go back to the drawing board. Maybe you might see the next big title for me. I think with 3 to 5 years, maybe, hopefully.
Yes. They said Elder Scrolls 6. This is probably about 4 or 5 years away.
And I hope they can take. I hope again from that. I hope they don't use the same Elder Scroll engine.
I hate to say it, Z. I hate to say it, but they're probably going to use that same engine because you got to remember. This Starfield was in space, so allegedly you can go to thousands of planets, empty shells or whatever. But with the whole Skyrim thing and the whole Elder Scroll thing, you're on one planet. Even though it's time for them to, like you said, get with the times. Because by the time that game drop, man, it's going to be another generation, right? So that means another piece of hardware is allegedly going to be out there. It could be a streaming only game, right? Maybe it's just streaming only. Maybe that's their future. We don't know.
But that's still not going to fix the issue if they don't update things.
It's not.
I mean, at the end of the day. But
on top of Todd Howard is retiring.
Todd, what's the other guy named? The other guy they got the Pete Hines. Yeah,
the Pete Hines.
Well, I know I know they was going to fire his ass. Was Tommy. He wrote one in the court saying, no, man, I wanted Sony to play the game. Like, well, they had to get rid of him. But anyway, what else we got here? Now I know my man Donnie D. He do a side-by-side comparison here, right? Yeah. I know my man Donnie D got a bad rap. I mean, they planted some evidence on him, planted the glove on him, right? And he was saying that for a while that Phil had to save the Xbox division, and he saved gaming. I keep saying this, like real talk. And I'm just being honest. He said men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. You have 2 consoles on the market now. Because you have 2 more, and you're being outsold and outpaced by the Xbox One. How you say the 792 box, the 720p box? How? Yeah. You know what I mean? I know how. I know why it's happened, but like, what are your excuses now? Like, you're the captain of the ship now. How's the case? We got a new generation. Things that we're supposed to be me up because again, outside of Gears, Forza, and Halo, I've said this numerous times. The last AAA game they released was Quantum Break. Outside, you said those games, like you said, run what's called franchise fatigue. Having another one, Gears, Forza, and Halo. Outside of that was Quantum Break. That was 2016, around 2016, 2017. You start this new generation with the Falconeer, the Medium Crossfire X, right? Your first next generation game was Redfall. Like I said, it doesn't. How you say? We don't have to invent the wheel. You can take over and invent the wheel. There's no like why it's not selling. It's all about games. Like you say, you look at Nintendo, and the greatest they are, or how you say, brand recognition, cool. But when the Wii U came out, it didn't have any games. Gamers are fickle. Strong as Mario is, or Smash Brothers, or Kid Icarus, or Zelda, it's always about the games. You can't go long months and drops without no games. And you know what I mean. And that's what I mean. What are your thoughts? Why do you think it's not? Why the Xbox Series console more powerful, more power? We ain't gotta do what sub 1080, all that stuff anymore. Why do you think it's not? It's selling less than the Xbox One?
I'll be honest, man. The Xbox just in itself, the brand is not a how shall I say? It's just not a popular brand anymore. Those old days of the Peter Moores and the Steve Ballmers and the Bill Gates and stuff when they were pumping on all cylinders, those days are over. They changed their strategy of focusing on the console, and they started focusing on everything else but the console. They had this marketing campaign, play any and everywhere, but the goddamn Xbox. They're marketing for everybody else, and play on PC, play on Samsung TV, play on the phones, and blah blah blah, and that just puts a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth, and so people want to go where Sony's out there, play on PS5. Matter of fact, play on your streaming device connected to the PS5, and play on this on the PS5, and the VR on everything is centered around PS5, and I think that's a huge gamble that Microsoft pulled off. But I'm actually kind of shocked when I look at the stat that the Xbox One is outselling the Xbox Series X because you got to think about it. They didn't have to spend the R&D on just one console. They had to do R&D on two consoles. So you would think that a united front with two is better than one, but they get knocked smooth the fuck out by one glove, and that's crazy.
Okay, well here's the thing. I do understand. But here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
The R&D. And listen, I say they want to corner the market. You got something for the low end entry. Because gamers are cheap. They mean $300 cool, but you had no software, right? And I like I said, I don't know who's hit. Well, I know who's hitting shit, Phil Spencer. And you say, and it's like I said, I'm looking here a little bit off topic, not off topic, but they never gained a profit, right? And I'm not here to talk about they want some money. Microsoft is great at making money, but this not a no-brainer. Look at this thing. It says Microsoft had never discussed the Xbox profit. Now, thanks to a series of documents which came out of court, were actually as part of the FTC federal trial. But we'll scroll down a little further. 1.5 billion for the first month. That's accountability margin. But Phil came out and says that that now, like you said, however, in a formal testimony, Spencer says that the Xbox business today runs in a single-digit profit margin. So so again, how long the OG Xbox came out? Now listen, OG Xbox lost money because of the hard drive, and it wasn't enough to be sold only $300. They didn't own the stuff inside the box. They had to pay the video, and they wanted to do a price cut because Sony when started PlayStation 2 went down to $200. And the video said, hey, "If you pay me," you had a hard drive, so they took the L. Boom, they came out with the 360. They wanted to, a year before the PS3, they had ran into the red ring of death. That cost them about $2 billion. So I bet, boom, you messed up that, with the profit as far as with there, you know what I mean? But they said you had with the Xbox One, and for whatever reason, I don't like I said, I keep saying this, and because they were still winning some MPDs with the Xbox One against the PS4. It wasn't until they stopped releasing games. You know what I mean? And so, and at the end of the day, I don't even know if I trust them as being a third-party publisher. With the hard, you got the console. You know what I mean? You're not releasing any games, any quality. And your first game out, your first next generation title game out of the gate is Redfall. So again, it's not a no-brainer compared to the launch. We'll go to this in compared to the launch of the Xbox One launch titles. You had Rise, whether you like it or not, Killer Instinct, Panzer Dragon, you had Max Curse of the Brothers, Dead Rising, Titanfall. So you had those, and then look at the launch of the Xbox Series console.
Falconeer and the Medium.
Medium, Gunk, and Crossfire X.
Oh shit.
So it's but then like you said, they were riding. We all went through COVID. Everyone went through COVID. Nintendo, Sony, everybody went through COVID. But again, this is your not one game. I've been gaming
Yeah.
for a long time, so those jokers, little boogers was candy. I've never. Could you imagine buying a Genesis or a Nintendo, or anything, and not one Mario game? But then they come out there and, with the console, nothing,
Yeah.
nothing from you. Like, and you know what I mean? Like this, this is say it's a
Yeah.
gross mismanagement. I know people like Phil, he kisses babies during election time, but again, I just don't. For gaming, I've said this numerous times. I'm being serious here. You ain't get no jokes. You know what I mean? I'm being dead serious. Like it's there is a problem, and it's the reason why, again, what's another reason why no one's buying your hardware. You know what I mean? And it was, like I said, it sucks to say, like you say. I hope they be around for another generation, because that's a third of the industry gone. But I'll give you last closing time. But decide you want to say anything else before we get about it?
That's it. I mean, again, I thought that by having two systems, you would at least be able to have some kind of leeway. But it seems like people now, even with two consoles, are less invested and less. I'm be honest, it's just unpopular. People just don't want a fucking Xbox. I mean, they dirt cheap. You can find them anywhere. They got Game Pass with hundreds of games in there, but people still rather go out, buy Nintendo and Sony, and that's something I don't think Microsoft are ever going to be able to overcome.
Because we AAA games, but we out here. The first, what's the name of the show again?
Hot takes.
Hot takes. Write it down. Hot takes. Thank you. We out of here.